Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my last declutter of 2023. I have, I think about 8 to 10, somewhere in there, fragrances that I'm going to be removing out of my collection. So let me start with the first one, which is a travel. And this is the Valentino Donna Born in Roma Intense. I was really excited when this fragrance came out, not only because the original is one of my favorite perfumes, but also the bottle was gorgeous and I was really excited to have that in my collection. But I decided to buy the travel first instead of getting the full bottle because this year I tried to make it a point to sample or get smaller sizes of fragrances and not just blind buy big bottles, because I did that a couple years ago and ended up decluttering most of them. So I don't like this. It doesn't smell bad at all. It's perfectly pleasant, but to me, it just doesn't smell like an intense version of the original fragrance. The original fragrance, in my opinion, is just so much more complex. It has a much more diverse, just opening to mid to base. This one just smells a little Play-Doh-y to me, and that could be the case, smelling a little plasticky, Play-Doh-y. But it's very linear and not that exciting on my skin. I've heard other people really rave about it, but it's not for me. I gave it a couple of tries. I tried it when I first got it. I tried it again a few weeks later. I tried it again recently, like maybe in the past month or so, and I just don't like it. So it's got to go. The next one I have is Prada. I think this is Perfume. I think that's the name of this fragrance. I love the bottle. I actually really like the way this smells, but there is a note in here that tickles my nose, and someone commented that it's probably the beeswax or honey or something that's in here like that, which makes sense because it was one of the only notes that I can remember that was something new to my collection. This is a really nice, clean, slightly sweet, everyday, classy fragrance. It's really nice. I've tried it. You can see I actually put a little bit of a dent in it. I really, really tried it out. And if it wasn't for that little tickle it gave my nose, I would totally keep this because I actually do enjoy the way it smells. It's just something on my skin that makes whatever that weird note is come out, and I just can't handle it. So I'm going to let that one go. Okay, the next one I'm going to be decluttering is Atelier Cologne's Vanille Insensee. This is just because I don't reach for it. It smells really nice. I don't think I'll regret it because I had to force myself to wear it a couple times this year, and while I enjoyed it, it's not something I really think to reach for anymore. When I first got this, and I went through several deluxe samples of it, it smells really nice. I get compliments when I wear it, but vanilla is not my favorite fragrance. This is nice and different though because it has a note of lime in here, which makes it a little more fresh, a little more bright. It's not gourmand. It's a really beautiful perfume. If you have been curious about it or you really love vanilla fragrances, I do recommend it. I just don't reach for it. I think if I didn't have so many perfumes in my collection and when I was in the mood for vanillas, that is what I would reach for. But I have one or two others that I reach for. And again, vanilla is not my favorite type of scent profile, so I'm not usually craving it that much. So having two or three others in my collection that I'm going to reach for first, this poor one is just sitting there not getting any love, and it really is a beautiful fragrance. The next one is Kayali, and this is the Utopia Vanilla Coco 21. This one, it smells so good. All of these smell good, but the coconut note in here is what's killing it for me. I originally wasn't going to get it because the coconut note, I knew it wasn't my favorite, but I didn't mind it. And then all the other notes in here are really similar to the Deja Vu White Flower, which is my favorite Kayali fragrance. So I thought, okay, a tropical version of that. I'm sure the coconut note won't bother me. And while it doesn't bother me, it doesn't smell bad, I just don't like that on my skin for some reason. So I've tried it in a lot of different seasons, you know, a lot of different weather, a lot of different situations. It always smells nice, but it's just not for me. So again, I don't want it sitting in my collection, taking up space and going to waste when someone else can enjoy that. Now, along the same lines, we have the Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc. These do not smell the same, but they have that same type of, you know, tropical, you know, suntan lotion type of vibe to it. And I also used to have the original Soleil Blanc, just the perfume version. And again, this smells really nice. And what I like about this one is it's a little brighter, it's a little fresher. It's great for summertime. And you can see I wore it a little bit, but I don't reach for it because what happens is that kind of solar note takes over and it doesn't smell bad. It's great for the beach and at the pool and stuff, but it's just not for me. And it's just been sitting there in my collection, not getting worn, and that is such a waste. So I'm going to have to move it along. The next one, let me actually do this one. This is Olympea by Paco Rabanne. I had this on my tray recently. Love this fragrance. It smells so good. I love salty fragrances. But for some reason, and it doesn't smell any different. I know it didn't go bad. This is a newer bottle. I haven't had it that long. I have given it some wears. It's not that this fragrance has changed, but something about my perception of it has changed. And even though it still smells good, I don't want to smell like, not that I don't want to smell like this, something about it on my skin bothers me. I still have my other salty fragrances that I still love, still wear quite a bit, but something about this one just turned on me. I'm really upset about it because not only did I really love the fragrance, but I love the bottle. I think it's so pretty. And it looks so good on my vanity. I have a little mirrored plate that I keep all like my summer fragrances on, and it's looked so good as like the little centerpiece, but oops. But I'm just not reaching for it, and I wore it a couple times and I just really didn't enjoy it. So I'm going to let that one go. Similarly, I have the Olympea Intense. I actually got this one first. And this is a deeper, more ambery, richer version of the fragrance. And again, smells nice. I like the way it smells. It's like sweet, salty. It's like a really nice, sexy date night, you know, when you're by the beach or on a tropical vacation type of fragrance. But these two do have the same DNA. So whatever it is that started bothering me in this fragrance triggered this one for me, because this was actually the one that I preferred. I used to like this one better. And because it's the intense version, whatever it is just amplified. And so I'm just going to declutter that one too, which again, unfortunate because I really loved it. This is my second bottle of it. This is only the 1 ounce bottle, but I just know I'm not going to reach for it because it's just whatever it is. I don't know, but it's really bothering me. The next one I have is Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. I put this on my tray for the month of December and decided to spritz it on immediately because I knew I wanted to film a declutter video and see how I liked it. And the opening, so let me tell you what I finally decided about this fragrance. I love the opening. I'm not sure what I'm getting, but it's just this nice, juicy, sweet, really intoxicating burst of a fragrance when I first spritz it on, and that lasts for a couple of minutes. And then it kind of settles down. I think there's orange blossom in here that starts to come through more. And it reminded me of my Poison Girl EBP by Christian Dior. So then I wore them side by side to compare them and see, because I don't want a lot of redundant fragrances in my collection. And while they have the same vibe, I would put them in the same type of family. They don't smell the same. And I think that's mostly because of the cherry note that's in here. And the cherry note during the mid portion of this fragrance is really strong. It's not bad. I don't find it to be medicinal, or it doesn't smell bad, but I like Poison Girl better. And after wearing them side by side, the only thing my brain can focus on is the cherry note that's in here. And I don't like cherry enough to be smelling like this particular version of cherry. My favorite cherry fragrance that I've smelled so far ever, I think, is the Kayali's Love Fest Burning Cherry, because it's not like a thick, sweet, syrupy type of cherry. It smells like just a fresh black cherry, like wood. So I really like that one. So if it comes down between wearing this and Poison Girl, I'm going to reach for Poison Girl. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that out of my collection. The next one I have, and I was really torn about this one too, is my Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche. I love this fragrance. It smells so good. It smells so good. It's fresh. Obviously, it has citruses in it. It has a lot of woody notes in there. Musk. I believe patchouli. I believe there's patchouli because I feel like a lot of them have that same patchouli vibe in there. This is like if you've ever seen Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. It's like the everlasting gobstopper. I was wearing it every day, all the time, and the dip in this perfume will not go down. It's driving me crazy. But I just haven't been reaching for it as much. Still smells good. And I thought, I'll just wear it as a gym fragrance. But honestly, it's too nice for me. I would feel bad wearing this to the gym. I did it once and I just felt like I was overdressed for my workout. So, I mean, I know I'll have it in my collection for a bit before I actually end up letting it go. So we'll see if I actually let it go. But right now it's set to be decluttered. This is a beautiful fragrance. Out of all the Chanel Chance ones that I've smelled, and there's still a couple that I haven't smelled yet, this is my favorite. And I think I just have so many fresh, citrusy, summery scents that I actually now like so much more than this one, because this one I've had in my collection for a couple years, that I just reach for those, and this one isn't getting reached for enough. And so it's just sitting there. And again, anything that's just sitting there, it's got to go. It just can't be taking up space. And it shouldn't go to waste either, because it actually really is a beautiful fragrance. The next one I have is Issey Miyake's, and this is the L'Eau d'Issey. This is just the travel size spray. I really love the bottle. It's really cool. This is another nice, fresh floral scent. It smells nice. I got complimented when I wore it. I just don't reach for it. It's just not my favorite. And if I can't get through a travel size, I just know it's time to move that on. I did give it some wears. You can see the dip in here. But it's just been sitting there, and I usually have to force myself to wear it. And I'm usually like, oh, I wish I would have worn whatever instead. And if I'm feeling like that, if I put on a perfume and wish I had put on something else instead and want to scrub this one off, it makes me feel like it's got to leave the collection. And the last one, and this one I was also really, really torn about. This is Christian Dior. This is J'Adore. This is a beautiful floral, kind of fresh, fruity fragrance. It has a ton of notes in here, some of my favorites. It smells really beautiful. It's soft, it's clean, it's classy, it's elegant. I mean, it's been around for a long time. So the only reason why this is even being considered to be decluttered is because this year I purchased Christian Dior's Gris Dior. And they don't smell the same in the opening at all. They're very different in the opening. But once they get to the dry down, they have the same vibe. Different scents, but the same vibe. So when I'm wearing it because I want something clean and fresh and pretty and classy, those are two of my top choices. But I always now am leaning for the Gris Dior and not this one, as well as another Christian Dior fragrance, which is the Pure Poison. And I actually just went through and finished up my 50 ml bottle a bit ago, and I miss it. And whenever I want to wear something clean and fresh and kind of musky, like fresh out of the shower and go, I want the Pure Poison. So I know between having Pure Poison, which I'm going to be putting back in my collection soon because I miss it, and the Gris Dior, this one is just not going to get reached for like it used to. And you can see I did wear it. Again, I love it. And it's a beautiful bottle. It looks gorgeous on my vanity. I'm really tempted, I want to keep it just because it's so pretty. but I'm trying not to do that. All right, this is a perfectly good newer bottle that should go to a good home, that's going to get worn. There's also a couple other flankers of this that I would like to try, and I'm not going to try them until I either get through this one or it's not in my collection anymore. So sad to say this one is going to go. I don't think I'll regret it again because I love Gris Dior and Pure Poison so much, and those are my go-to fresh out of the shower scents, that it kind of knocked this one out of the, you know, running. But it is beautiful. If you've ever been curious about trying it, I would recommend going into Sephora, Nordstrom, wherever you can sample it, and give it a try and really wear it on your skin, because once you get to the mid and dry down, I think that's where it becomes its prettiest. There's kind of a big barrage of notes when you first spritz it on, which is fine, but once it settles into your skin, it is very classy, very sexy, very pretty. But I have a few other fragrances in that group, so I don't need to keep all of them. All right, so here are all the fragrances that I am decluttering for my last declutter of 2023. If you have any fragrances that you've been thinking about decluttering from your collection, please leave those down in the comments below. I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.